You just found $1,000. Maybe it's a tax refund, a bonus, or money you finally saved. And now you're staring at it, wondering, what do I actually do with this? Do you put it in a savings account? Buy stocks? Ask your uncle who knows about money? Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do step by step as a Canadian. No jargon, no confusion, just a simple plan you can start today. Let's get into it. Here's the truth. Most Canadians never invest their first $1,000. It just sits in a checking account, earning almost nothing, quietly losing value to inflation. But that same $1,000, invested well, could grow into something much bigger over time. This isn't about getting rich overnight. It's about starting the habit early. So let's build your first investment, one smart step at a time. Here's what we're covering today. We're first building your foundation, then teaching you about different accounts, discussing choosing a platform, then what to buy, talking your first trade, and end off with the most important part, the long game and patience. Let's get into the foundations. Before you invest a single dollar, we need to check your financial foundation. Think of this like building a house. You don't put a roof on before you pour the floor. First question, do you have high interest debt, like credit cards? If your credit card charges 20% interest, paying it off is your best investment. No investment reliably returns 20% a year. Paying off that debt basically does. Second question, do you have any emergency savings at all? If your car breaks down tomorrow, could you handle it without a credit card? If not, it might be smart to keep some of this money as a small safety cushion first. Once your debt is under control and you have a little cushion, you're ready to invest. Let's move on to the fun part. Where does this money actually go? Chapter 2. Breaking down the different accounts. In Canada, before you buy anything, you need to pick the right account to hold it in. Think of an account like a basket. The investments go inside the basket. The basket you choose changes how much tax you pay. This part is very Canadian. The first basket is called a TFSA, a tax-free savings account. Money grows inside a TFSA completely tax-free and you can take it out anytime. For most beginners, the TFSA is the easiest and most flexible place to start. The second basket is the RRSP, a Registered Retirement Savings Plan. It's designed for retirement and can lower your tax bill in the year you contribute. The RRSP tends to make more sense once your income is higher, later in your career. There's also a newer basket called the FHSA, the First Home Savings Account. If you're saving for your first home, this one can offer some powerful tax perks. For most people just starting out, though, the TFSA is the simplest first stop. So for this example, let's say we're opening a TFSA for our $1,000. Now that we know the basket we're going with, next we need somewhere to build that basket. Chapter 3. Which platform to use? There are many platforms like big banks, Questrade, and Wealthsimple. We use Wealthsimple. It's got a very easy interface and easy to use. If you decide to use Wealthsimple, use our promo code AY5UNG when signing up and you'll get $25 free for funding. Once you open a TFSA with a provider, in Canada, you have two main investing styles. The first style is a robo-advisor. It builds and manages a portfolio for you automatically. You answer a few questions about your goals, and it invests your money for you. This is great if you want a simple, hands-off experience with very little effort. The second style is a self-directed, where you pick your own investments. This usually costs less over time, but it means you make the decisions yourself. Neither choice is wrong. It depends on how involved you want to be. If you like the idea of learning and choosing your own investments, go self-directed. If you'd rather set it and forget it, a robo-advisor might suit you better. Whichever you pick, opening the account usually takes about 15 minutes online. You'll need your SIN, a piece of ID, and your banking information to fund it. Once it's open, you transfer your $1,000 in, and now the real decision begins. What do you actually buy with that money? Chapter 4. What to buy. Here's where a lot of beginners freeze up, staring at thousands of stock symbols. Here's the good news. You don't need to pick individual stocks to do well. Most experienced investors actually recommend something much simpler, called an ETF. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. Think of it as a basket of many companies at once. Instead of betting on one company, you own a small slice of hundreds of them. If one company struggles, it barely affects you, because you own so many others too. A popular starting point is a broad, low-cost index ETF that tracks the whole market like VT. There's a link above the video you can click to watch our video about VT. Keep in mind VT is a US fund. Some cover Canadian companies, others cover the US, and some cover the entire world. A simple beginner approach is one all-in-one ETF that blends Canada, the US, and beyond. These are sometimes called asset allocation ETFs, and they do the mixing for you. Look for one with a low management fee, often shown as an MER or management expense ratio. The lower that fee, the more of your returns you actually keep over the years. This single fund can become the foundation that makes your whole portfolio grow. Now let's talk about making the first trade. Let's actually place this trade together, step by step. Log into your account and find the search bar, usually labeled Trade or Buy. Type in the ticker symbol of the ETF you researched and chose. You'll see a price per unit called the share price or unit price. Decide how many units your $1,000 can buy and enter that number. Choose a market order for simplicity, which buys at the current going price. Double-check the details, then confirm the purchase. And that's it. You are now officially an investor in Canada. It feels anticlimactic the first time, and honestly, that's a good sign. Boring and steady is exactly what long-term investing is supposed to feel like. Now for the final chapter. Let's discuss the long-term investing mindset and patience. Now comes the hardest part, and it isn't buying. It's doing nothing. The market will go up and down. Some days your $1,000 might dip to $950. That's not a mistake. That's just what investing looks like in the short term. The investors who win long-term are usually the ones who simply stayed invested. Try not to check your account every single day. It rarely helps your decisions. Instead, think about adding a little more each month, even just $25. Consistency matters far more than the size of your very first contribution. Your first $1,000 isn't the finish line. It's just the first brick in the wall. Let's quickly recap the whole journey we just walked through together. 1. Get your foundation right, handle high-interest debt and a small cushion. 2. Choose your account, and for most beginners, that's the TFSA. 3. Pick a platform, then either do a robo-advisor or a self-directed brokerage. 4. Choose a simple, low-cost ETF, like VFV or XEQT, instead of trying to pick individual stocks. 5. Place the trade, then let time and patience do the heavy lifting. That's genuinely it. That's how you invest your first $1,000 in Canada. Quick disclaimer. This video is for general education only, not personal financial advice. Everyone's situation is different, so consider speaking with a licensed financial advisor. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of your original money. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.